Imagine you haven't eaten for several days. Then you see an elephant. It's enormous. There's more meat on that animal than you could ever get from most animals you'd normally hunt. So here's the weird part. Why don't humans eat elephants? You might think the answer is obvious. They're dangerous. They're huge. Hunting one would be a nightmare. But humans have hunted animals that were dangerous and enormous before. And we actually did eat elephants. So this isn't really a question about whether elephant meat can be eaten. People already answered that question thousands of years ago. The stranger question is this: why didn't elephants become a normal source of meat, like cattle, pigs, or sheep? To answer that, you have to look at what happens before the meat reaches your plate. Humans did eat elephants. Not necessarily the elephants you would see today, but elephants and their close relatives were hunted by people in the past. Large proboscideans were part of the animal world that humans exploited for food. So saying humans don't eat elephants isn't completely true. It's more accurate to say that elephant meat never became a normal part of most human food systems. And that's a very different question. Think about the animals you see in the supermarket. Beef comes from cattle. Pork comes from pigs. Lamb comes from sheep. Nobody chose those animals just because they had meat. They had to be useful in a much broader way. People needed animals they could keep, manage, reproduce, and use again. An elephant gives you a huge amount from one animal, but after that one elephant is gone, you still need another one. And getting that next elephant is where things start getting complicated. Let's say you're actually trying to hunt one. This isn't just hunting a bigger deer. An elephant is powerful enough to seriously injure or kill a hunter. Getting close is dangerous. Bringing it down takes skill, planning, and a lot of effort. And there's another problem. You can't exactly throw an elephant over your shoulder and head home. The animal is huge. That sounds like an advantage at first. One successful hunt could provide an enormous amount of food. But hunting isn't just about how much food you get. You also have to ask how much effort and risk it takes to get that food. Imagine two choices. One animal gives you a modest amount of meat, but it's relatively easy to find and handle. The other gives you far more meat, but getting it is dangerous and demanding. The second animal isn't automatically the better choice. Sometimes, the smaller prize is simply easier to collect. And with elephants, the hunt is only the beginning. Once the animal is down, you have another problem waiting for you. Picture the scene. You've killed the elephant. Great. Now what? You have an enormous carcass sitting in front of you. People who hunt large animals know that killing the animal is only part of the job. You still have to butcher it, move what you can use, share it, and deal with everything you cannot immediately consume. With a smaller animal, that's manageable. With an elephant, the scale changes. That doesn't mean ancient people were incapable of processing one. They clearly weren't. Humans are very good at making use of large animals when the opportunity is worth it. The issue is what happens if you want this to become a regular food supply. You can't just say, let's get another elephant tomorrow. That animal has to be found. Then hunted. Then processed. Then the whole process starts again. So an elephant can be an excellent source of food when you get the opportunity. That doesn't automatically make it a convenient food source. And there is an even bigger problem. The elephant you just killed has to come from somewhere. This is where the story moves from one elephant to an entire population. Elephants don't replace themselves quickly. They mature slowly, and females have long intervals between births compared with many animals that humans later raised as livestock. That matters. If you take animals from a population faster than the population can replace them, eventually there are fewer animals left to hunt. It sounds obvious, but it's easy to forget when you're looking at one successful hunt. One elephant can look like an incredible food opportunity. 100 elephants are a population. Those are two very different things. If people repeatedly depend on wild elephants for meat, they aren't just taking food. They're taking animals from a population that takes a long time to recover. This doesn't mean every elephant hunt would have caused a population collapse. That's far too simple. The point is that elephants are poorly suited to being treated like a rapidly renewable food source. And when you compare them with animals that became livestock, the difference becomes pretty obvious. Look at cattle. A cow isn't remotely as impressive as an elephant. It doesn't give you the same enormous carcass. But that's not really what matters. People can keep cattle in herds. They can control where they live. They can breed them. They can raise young animals and keep the process going. The same basic idea worked with several other species. Pigs reproduce relatively quickly. Sheep and goats are manageable. They can live around people and be raised over generations. That makes a huge difference. You don't need to find the next wild animal every time you want meat. You already have the animals. That's one of the biggest changes domestication brings. The food source becomes something you can maintain. An elephant doesn't give you that same convenience. Even if you somehow had one in captivity, keeping an elephant alive requires enormous amounts of food and space. And breeding them is a slow process. So the comparison isn't really about which animal has more meat. It's about which animal works better when humans try to turn meat into a dependable supply. And elephants aren't the obvious winner. There's another part of the story that's easy to miss. An elephant can do things while it's alive. In some societies, elephants were used for transportation, heavy work, and warfare. That doesn't mean people never killed elephants, because they were too useful. History doesn't work that neatly. But it does give us another way to think about the animal. A cow can provide meat and milk. A horse can provide transport. An elephant can provide enormous physical power. So when humans looked at an elephant, they weren't necessarily seeing nothing but food. There could be other reasons to keep one alive. And this matters because humans rarely judge animals on one characteristic. We don't ask only, how much meat does this animal have? We also ask, sometimes without even realizing it, what can this animal do? What does it cost to keep? How easily can it reproduce? Can we control it? Is there a better animal for the job? Once you start asking those questions, the mystery gets smaller. But there's still one important distinction left. Here's the part that makes the whole thing click. Something can be perfectly edible and still be a terrible food source. You can eat many things that you'll never see in a supermarket. That's because food isn't just about what's safe or tasty. Someone has to get it. Someone has to produce it. Someone has to process it. And there has to be enough of it to make the whole thing worthwhile. That's what elephants struggle with. You can hunt one. You can eat one. You can even get a tremendous amount of meat from one. But turning elephants into a reliable source of meat is a completely different challenge. You'd need a steady supply of animals. You'd need a way to manage them. You'd need them to reproduce quickly enough to replace what you take. And you'd have to make the whole system worth the effort. Cattle fit that system. Pigs fit it. Sheep fit it. Elephants never became a good match. That's why the supermarket question has a much bigger answer than because they're too big. So now go back to the original question. Why don't we eat elephants? Well, humans have eaten them. That's the first surprise. The second is that being edible was never enough. An animal becomes an important food source when humans can build a practical system around it. Elephants make that difficult. They're dangerous to hunt. They're enormous to process. They reproduce slowly. Keeping them requires huge resources. And in some societies, they could provide valuable work while alive. None of those points explains the whole story by itself. Together, they make the answer much clearer. Humans didn't simply look at an elephant and decide, that's not food. We were perfectly capable of seeing the meat. The problem was everything that came after that. A wild elephant could be a meal, but turning elephants into a dependable food supply was a very different proposition. And that's why your supermarket is full of animals that aren't the biggest animals humans have ever encountered. It's full of animals that fit the system. So if you ever wondered why you don't see elephant steaks sitting next to beef and pork, now you know. Humans could eat elephants. We did eat them. They just never made much sense as the kind of animal you build an everyday food supply around. But here's the part I'm curious about. Imagine you're starving. You've got almost nothing left to eat, and there's a wild elephant standing in front of you. You know one successful hunt could give you an enormous amount of food. Would you actually take the chance? Or would you look at that elephant and think, yeah, I'm finding something else? If you want more videos that take ordinary things you see every day and dig into the strange systems hiding underneath them, subscribe. Because the next question gets even harder. Why did humans decide that some animals should live beside us, while others should end up on our plates?